Most people have heard the facts about autism. The fact that 1 in 150 children will be diagnosed with autism. The fact that up to 1.5 million Americans are believed to have some form of autism right now. The fact that these numbers are growing 10 to 17% a year, and that at these rates, autism could affect as many as 4 million Americans in the next decade. But there are also many myths, misconceptions, and generalizations about autism. One of the most devastating myths is that a person with autism cannot show affection. They cannot make friends. They cannot love. This is not true. While sensory stimulation is processed differently in some children with autism, they can and do give affection, but it may require patience on a parent's part to accept and give love on the child's terms. Children with autism spectrum disorders often experience difficulty with common social skills like communication and interaction. But that's not to say they can't overcome the frustration, conquer the fear, adapt to new situations, and take part in everyday activities that mark the joys of childhood. The key is to be able to immerse these children into specialized intervention strategies and programs, and the sooner, the better. This is where the Autism Tree Project Foundation comes in. Founded in 2003 by Todd, Dana, and Garrett Hoff, the Autism Tree Project Foundation is dedicated to creating brighter futures for children with autism through 3 tangible initiatives. 1. Preschool Screening Program.
We started the Autism Tree Project Foundation because we didn't want another family to take so long to get the diagnosis for their child. We wasted 9 months on our journey, and at the end of it, we had 2 things happen that we both are still united on. We want families to get the information as quickly and easily as possible. We want them to identify what their child needs and get in therapy as early as possible. And the preschool screenings are a result of that.
The Autism Tree Project Foundation provides free and low-cost developmental screenings to preschool-age children across the state, with referral to further testing and services when necessary.
What makes this program very unique and one of kind is a 3-phase model. Phase 1 is a in-service where I go to the school site and work directly with the teachers on identifying red flags of communication delays. Phase 2 is where myself and my team actually go to the school and we screen each individual child looking for communication delays, sensory or motor issues, as well as social and pragmatic deficits. Phase 3 is really the follow-up with the teachers and the parents on what to do with these kiddos, because typically they still are in the classroom. They haven't changed placement, and we want to make that preschool experience as communication enriched as we can.
As a result of our speech and language screenings, we have identified several children to be on the autism spectrum or to have autism. These are parents who often had no idea that their children were dealing with special challenges. However, they knew that every day was a challenge for them.
We were able to offer screenings to preschools in both Spanish and English. I've identified 2 model preschools, and last year we were able to screen over 200 students in both Spanish and English. And this year in 2008, we look forward to screening more and more children in both the English-speaking community and the Spanish-speaking community.
The Autism Tree Project Foundation has allowed us to actually train 250 students in speech pathology so that when they actually go out into the community, they will be able to provide preschool screenings and be able to detect children who have communication problems early on.
Our teachers have been blessed because we've been able to have in-service training. We've had people like Dr. Dawn Holman and Kara Dodds and the In Harmony team come and work with our teachers and our staff.
The In Harmony program is part of the Phase 3 of the Autism Tree Project Early Intervention Model, and what it does is it provides that resource, that tool for the teacher.
Our favorite unit is a unit on how to share. Of course, this unit is working not only for our children with special needs, but all the children in the classroom are learning to use the same words, to look at their face expressions, to wait for responses, and then to follow through accordingly.
Sharing can be a difficult task for preschool children, so I want to show you one example from In Harmony of a song called Share Your Stuff that teaches that song. It goes like this. Oh no, what you gonna do? Someone took your toy away from you. Oh no, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Say that toy is not yours, it's mine. Ask me first and I'll be fine. And then it goes through a couple other scenarios in the song. And in a classroom setting, a lot of times we'll even step back after we sing the song and the kids are excited, jumping around, and we'll role play some of these characters actually on the cards. So they'll practice sharing a ball back and forth and using the different phrases from the song.
We're very proud getting out there to the community and educating not just the school systems, but getting into the preschools and educating the teachers so they can be early identifiers. It's all about the early intervention.
So why is it important to get early diagnosis? Well, there are many reasons. One is that parents need to know what the problem is or what the issues are with their children. Often they're confused about why their child is acting a certain way, why their child is not doing what other children his age are doing, and yet they don't know why or what to do about it. One important factor is having parents find out what the problem is so that they can address it. The second is to get the child into an intensive early intervention program, because that is one thing that has been proven to improve the outcome of children with autism. And it's so important, and the earlier the intervention program begins, the better. The third thing is that parents, once they find out what the diagnosis is, can be educated about how to help their child. If they don't know what the diagnosis is, they don't know where to ask for help. Unfortunately, what I see all too often is a child who comes to me when they're 5 or 6 years old. They've had no intervention. Their parents have never heard of any of the available interventions, and they're overwhelmed because they've been dealing with these problems for 5 or 6 years and yet didn't know what to do about them.
The Autism Tree Project Foundation's second tangible initiative is the Parent Mentor Program. The Parent Mentor Program unites parents of newly diagnosed children with a mentor to support and guide the family, as well as assist them in identifying autism-related resources in the community.
My mentor couldn't have been a better choice for me. I was so glad. We sat down and she had books and she had examples, and we sat there for about an hour just going over exactly what I needed to know right now in my life.
The Autism Tree Project has allowed me to participate in their mentor program, where they pair newly diagnosed families with families that have had a diagnosis of autism for a while, or with professionals in areas that they would like to know more information about.
Having a mentor who's already been ahead of you is worth its weight in gold. And we still to this day cherish our mentors that kind of got us through the hard moments of knowing what a diagnosis really is and what it can mean for your child and for the future of your life.
I got the Kibbles video at the mentoring event, and I remember you pressed it into my hand and you said, "Here, take a copy of this video." Ian has an IEP, and he has a goal that talks about recognizing emotions. It's one that he hadn't been really progressing on, and there's a song in the Kibbles video. Actually, there's a whole storyline about how people are feeling. And after watching it for about a week, he came up to me and he said, "This is a sad face." And he made one for me. He made a sad face. And it was the first time ever. It was like this breakthrough that he would make those faces.
The Autism Tree Project Foundation's third tangible initiative is autism research. The principal investigator of this research is Dr. Doris Trauner.
The current research that I'm interested in has to do with the preschool screening program that ATPF has begun. The research that I'm doing related to that is to prospectively look at not only the value of the screening tool in identifying children with autistic spectrum disorders, but also then following them up to see how early intervention affects the course of their autism.
My son Ian is doing great now. He has overcome so many obstacles. We have so many little victories now, so much to celebrate when he is looking at us finally and making the eye contact and really engaging with us. So we're on the road. I'm really excited. It's still hard, but I know from looking around me now at all the different families I know that we're going to continue to keep getting to where we need to go with Ian.
The foundation started with Dana and I, one family, wanting to make a difference. What we need is everybody to come together and help us continue to implement the goals of the foundation. We need to get out there and screen more children. We need to train more therapists to have the tools that we've built, and we need to give those to the community. It's not easy. We need more resources to do that. We clearly have the results. We've got the feedback from our families that the program works. Join us to be able to take this to the next level. Our goal would be that we could expand, do more for more children and more family. Thank you.